The E-flite Draco. It's heavy, but it's lighter than your mom. Greetings, I'm John, and I greet you to Two Brothers RC. There was recently some controversy on the channel with the X-Fly B1, and well, I'm hoping this vid on the Draco won't draw the same level of controversy, but if there's one thing that I've learned from my time in radio control, once you get big enough on YouTube, everyone either loves you or hates you. Something that's been bugging me for a long while now is the meme that Draco is too heavy to be a bush plane. I'm not sure who decided that there's some arbitrary standard of how much weight a plane can carry before it's no longer a bush plane. If you define bush flying in the traditional sense, Draco can perform just as good as anything else out there. If you're after the lightest wing load possible, I mean, it should be obvious that Draco is not the plane that you want. You can tell by the way it is. My friend Adam from the channel Model Aviator let me borrow some clips from his latest bush flying video because he inspired me to do some bush flying of my own with Draco. I started getting out of my comfort zone and really started pushing myself to fly in different spaces instead of the comfortable runway corridor because of Adam. The way he handles this heavy bird inspired me to create this video so that I could show you guys what pitfalls you can expect when bush flying a heavy plane and what awesome landings you can pull off. Plus, you can see my stick view too. That way I can get angry hate mail from people who think that you're only allowed to use the center of the sticks when you're flying a plane.
I don't think I could have done that better if I tried.
Adam also posted a super insightful comment on his YouTube channel on his Bush Flying 3 video that I'm going to summarize here. People think that Draco is hard to fly, but it isn't in most situations. It does not have a higher potential for stalling because it's heavier. It has a higher stall speed than a lighter bush plane like a Timber, precisely because it weighs more. It drops a wing when it stalls, but no more severely than many lighter planes do. Draco is more susceptible to damage because of its weight if you dumb thumb it into the ground, but that's basic physics.
Whoopsies.
More mass and energy does more damage. Every plane has parameters you have to stay within. Stay within those parameters for a given airframe and you'll be fine. Go outside of it and you'll have a problem. Now you either reach critical angle of attack or you don't. Stay above stall speed and critical angle of attack and you won't stall. Go below it or reach critical and you will. Every plane is like this. The bottom line is that the vast majority of crashes involve pilot error, either in full-scale or model aviation, and unfortunately people tend to refuse to accept that they made a mistake and they blame the airframe, because a 10-pound airplane can't handle the same kind of impacts that a 3-pound airplane can.
So docile on landing.
It really is. Unless you get into a crazy crosswind.
To quote Adam verbatim, the ridiculous part of all of this are the guys that don't own Draco, haven't flown Draco, and have zero first-hand experience with Draco, but they repeat talking points from other people and give this airplane a nasty reputation. Now the flying that I'm doing here caught Mike Patey's eye, and if you don't know who Mike Patey is, he made Draco. So if this flying is good enough for Mike, it's good enough for me. Remember what I said about weight and damage earlier? I had to beat the ever-living hell out of Draco to get the gear to break, and this is a first-run Draco too, with the original gear. It took a hell of a beating before these gear ever broke on me.
What happened there? Broke the wheel. But can it still work?
Oh gosh.
That is a question that philosophers have battled with for centuries. Let's send it. I got it.
Now you gotta land it though. Oh, Draco, you in trouble. Hey. Take a nap. Take a nap, Draco. Take a nap.
The key to bush flying a heavier airplane is to keep the physics of smashing into the ground in mind and minimize your chances of crashing. Now, most people would naturally think that you need to approach your landing from higher up to avoid crashing, and that does make sense if you're flying a lighter airplane, because a lighter airframe can lose airspeed easily. Draco, however, is not a light plane, so to get similar flight experiences to a light plane and a similar approach, you need to bring it in nap of the earth style. Get as low as you can comfortably fly it and then flare it into the landing. Yes, it does take more technical skill to fly like this, but that is part of the challenge, because if every bush plane was supposed to fly similar, what would even be the point of the hobby? I love flying lightly loaded airframes, but I also really enjoy the challenge of flying a heavier plane well. If you don't bring it in with the right amount of airspeed, rudder control, and elevator work, Draco will fall out of the sky on approach. It's heavy. It needs airspeed to fly. Fortunately, it's not hard to land Draco well, even if you're trying to land inside of an abandoned hangar like I am. Even if you get the approach low and you have everything going right for you, you might still overshoot and have to go around.
That's a pine tree. Watch out for that pole.
Yeah.
Wind will still be something you have to consider, and it may affect how your approach works out. Bush flying involves navigating obstacles and being ready to punch out at a moment's notice. Draco has plenty of power, so you can usually get out of trouble.
That was interesting.
Because Draco has plenty of power, it's capable of hovering, torque rolling, and performing plenty of varied aerobatics. Yet another meme in the RC community is that Draco can't do anything but fly in circles. If all you want to get out of Draco is flying circuits and some stall operations, it's more than capable of doing that. But with the right setup, contrary to what some people believe, this aircraft's capabilities are really only limited by the skill of the pilot commanding it. I'm not a pro, but I can do this, and so can you, with enough practice. I've had Draco for a full year, and I've really enjoyed it. Yeah, it's not a typical lightly loaded bush plane, but not everything has to be in order to be fun and enjoyable. It's capable of aerobatics, stall ops, and it looks awesome too. Don't let someone talk you out of what could be the most fun you've never had.
Lucked out on that one. It was behind the trees for me the entire time.
Yeah.
Get Draco and see how much fun a heavier bush plane can actually be. To that end, I even modified Draco to have crow and full span flaps. I was even able to adjust the flap servo pushrod keepers so that I could tie the flaps together with the lights, so the full lighting system goes off when Draco's flaps are fully deployed. All on the stock receiver, mind you. Getting crow and full span flaps working requires digging into the internals of Draco, and it is useful because it can take off even faster with full span flaps and land a little slower with crow. But it's only worth the effort if you're a serious tinkerer like me. I can walk you through the steps on Discord, and if you want the mixing info, watch the EC1500 Maiden video, which uses identical mixing. And as always, you can ask for help on Discord, and I'll gladly walk you through the process. Check out the Two Brothers Discord server in the description and come hang out with us. Thanks again for watching, and be sure to show us your best Draco landings on Discord. See you next time.